What's going on, guys? I'm Jaye the Black. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to talk about former NFL running back Reggie Bush, okay? There was a situation that occurred on his Instagram. He put up a picture of Lamar Jackson, okay, and Dwayne Haskins embracing each other, right? And he put up a caption. And in response to that caption, there was someone, particularly a melanated female, that took issue with him speaking about how proud he was of these two melanated guys embracing. And she basically pointed out the fact that he's with a non-melanated woman. She took the time out of her day to remind him that he is not with a melanated woman. As a matter of fact, this is what was said by him. Okay, this is the caption. He ended up taking the post down because I went to his Instagram and I didn't see it, but this is the caption. I got this off of TotalProSports.com. Reggie said, "I love everything about this picture, man. This is pure gold. And this is what the black community should always look like. Hashtag change the narrative." Okay. Not sure if it's his caption or what, because again, this is a screen cap. She responded by saying, "Coming from a man who is married to a woman who is not black makes no sense." Okay. And she calls herself Lovely Sarah. So he responded by saying, "Wow, you are really offended at my family. LOL, my wife saved my life. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. She is my guardian angel sent from heaven. She loves God first, and she's an amazing mother. I found my soulmate, and I hope you can say the same." So he kept it very respectful. But the one thing I would tell Reggie is, bro, you really should not have to defend being with who you're with if you feel like you've chosen the right one. And this is the price you pay for seeking to be, pro-black, but with a non-melanated woman. This is what's going to happen, man. And it's not me just putting stuff out there or me hating. That's not what it is. I'm glad that Reggie is happy in his life. I'm glad that a lot of these melanated men who have gotten where he is are able to find happiness. Again, he's saying that he would not be here if it wasn't for her. But he's been able to find happiness. But you got to understand, man, this day and age, you putting up a black fist, but you have to understand that if you don't have a black family, you're gonna be looked upon, especially by melanated women, as somebody who's hypocritical. That's what the perception is gonna be. Again, I don't care. Listen, you can be with whoever you want to be with, no matter what ethnic group that person is from. If you want to support your community, you should be able to support your community. Okay? I just want people to understand that. But what Reggie and others have to understand, especially a lot of these pro athletes, I've been critical of these pro athletes, especially these guys who are so conscious, right? They're so for their community. They are out here defending melanated people. They are defending melanated women. But you go home to a non-melanated woman, you have a mixed family. And you need to understand that people are not going to overlook that. If you look on Reggie's page right now, he actually put up a post where he is promoting the issues that is going on in Armenia with Armenians, because his wife is Armenian. And I'm gonna get to that later, which shows that not only is he for the melanated community, he also is in defense of the Armenian community. Once again, that's the life he chose. That's who he's with. I ain't got no problem with that. But what Reggie has to understand is that you're basically a part of two different communities. And there are, and with a lot of melanated, especially a lot of melanated women, they don't like to see that. They don't like to see a lot of these guys, these pro athletes who claim they are for black people, they are for the black community, but they're with non-melanated women. They're going to see that as hypocritical, bro. They are. And that's not me saying it. That's what the perception is going to be. That is why you responding gives it power. Stop responding to these people. You cannot win those battles. You can't win that battle. They're going to believe what they believe about you, Reggie. So if I were you, I would just let it go. People are just going to say things. It's good that you support your community. It's good that you like the fact that, melanated, athletes or quarterbacks can embrace each other and show respect towards each other. And you want to see melanated people do good. But what you also have to understand is that there are people who are going to look at you as a hypocrite. They're going to say, well, you're saying one thing and doing another. And also, let me get to the wife. It seems to me that he does have a type. He was with Kim K. She's Armenian, and his wife is Armenian. That's what he likes. It is what it is. Okay. But to people out there, they're going to look at him and they're going to say, well, you know what? He has a type. And again, that's what he likes. That's who he wants to be with. He's been married to this woman since 2014. They have 2 kids together. He seems to be happy. But I mean, yeah, he does have a type. A lot of people do. Now, let me just say this about melanated women being upset about who Reggie is with. If Reggie wasn't a football player, would you care who he was with? Like, seriously, a lot of these athletes and entertainers, if they weren't in the position they were in, if he didn't have the net worth of 25 million like he has, do you think that these same people would care about who Reggie was dating? You got to ask yourself that. I don't understand why there are women out here who are going into this man's comments and trying to point out the fact that he's not with a melanated woman. She just wasn't in the cards for him. Now, I will say this, though. It does seem to me he's doing a bit of pedestalizing. He's saying that this woman she's his guardian angel. She's just done all these different things for him. But the one thing I don't see her doing is wearing a wedding ring. I've looked on her Instagram and I don't see her wearing a wedding ring. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Even in the profile pic, again, I could be wrong. It doesn't look to me like in the posts that I see on her page that she's wearing her wedding ring. Maybe she only wears it for certain occasions. I thought that when you get married to somebody, you wear that wedding ring up until you're no longer married to that person. So it is a very interesting marriage. It is. I hope it's not one way because, again, Reggie has done his fair share of dirt. I mean, the guy fathered a kid outside of the marriage. And maybe ever since then, she sort of wanted to make a statement as if she was in the marriage and outside the marriage. So, Reggie, you need to be careful, man. You need to be careful, man. Just be careful, bro. These chicks change their minds like night and day. And she's stuck by you. But I've always thought it was interesting how when you look at her on social media, at least recently, she hasn't been wearing that wedding ring. Now, again, maybe she wears it on special occasions, but there's a lot of posts where she ain't wearing it. Again, I could be wrong, but from some of the posts I've seen, man, she ain't wearing that wedding ring. She ain't. But again, that's their business. Now, I don't think that Reggie should have to defend who he is in a marriage with, who he is in a relationship with. I wish people would stop the policing of people's dizzigs, okay? But of course that goes on because these people have nothing else going on. They're so busy looking at who people are with, how many chicks this dude is with, what's her ethnic origin, why you ain't with no sisters. They're constantly worrying about who these melanated men are with. We are in a society that is putting the female on a pedestal. They are denigrating anything masculine. So to them, men who seek to date who they want, men who seek to have multiple women, they see that as being a problem, even if those women are okay with that. So when you have melanated men who have money and resources, who are famous, who can have any woman they want, and they choose a woman who doesn't look like them, it's a problem. I think people need to move on. And I don't think he needs to defend who he is with. I understand Reggie wants to be a symbol of pro-blackness, but bro, you need to understand that you are in a marriage that is making the opposite of the community that you are defending. If you are truly in your pro-melanated mindset, you got to understand, in order to truly be in a community and be for the growth of that community, you do have to be with a melanated woman. That doesn't mean that you can't support it. Of course you can support it. But again, you can't be out here with your black fists in the air. You can't be out here speaking for black people and the black community if you are not truly a part of it as far as having a mate. But again, you chose to be who you chose to be with. That's fine. I have no problem with you choosing her. She's a very attractive woman. You know, it seemed like you made a good decision. You picked, you know what I'm saying? But again, you know, he chose who he wanted to be with. And I'm not going to sit here and tell him that he needs to be with a melanated woman. But if you are truly about being for your community and wanting to see it grow and progress, you should have probably done what your mother did with your stepdad. Your stepdad was a melanated man. She got with him and, you know, helped get you to where you are. You even thanked them in your speech. You thanked them in your Heisman speech, even though, you know, they ended up separating 5 years after he got into the NFL. But overall, I think Reggie's a good guy. I believe his heart is in the right place, but he has to understand the optics. And if you're with a woman who is not from your community, but you want to be a symbol of that community, people are going to look upon it as being hypocritical. I'm not saying it's right, but that's what the perception is going to be ultimately.